good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1375. Happy Hump Day. It's Wednesday. I am late. Holy cow, 38 minutes late. Why am I late? Well, you ever set your alarm and you're really optimistic the night before? And you're like, I'm going to attack the day tomorrow. And I'm going to wake up early. And I'm just going to get shit done. You set your alarm earlier than what you normally set your alarm for. And you go to bed just. And then your alarm goes off. And you're like, what the fuck was I thinking last night? Why did I think I was going to get up this early? Last night, Bo, you're fucking insane. And you turn your alarm off. Sometimes you have your normal alarm, and that's normally what I do. I set my early alarm that I never wake up to. And then when that goes off, but I make sure I'm not a snooze guy. I don't hit the snooze button. Like I want to hit REM sleep. If I wake up and I decide to go back to it, sleep, I want to make sure I'm like an hour in. So what I did last night was I set my alarm for an early time that I had. There was no reality that was going to happen. And that alarm went off and it's like, Jesus, what the fuck was I thinking? And instead of like, it was so early that earlier than normal, probably late for some of you, but it was early and for me. And I'm like, you know what? Not going to do it. Off, back to bed, wake up. And I've had a headache this week and I know why. It's really dry. The air is really dry. And we have one of those whole house, humidify April air things. It's cranked. It's fucking cranked, man. And so I've had a headache yesterday, today, this morning. I still have a headache, and I know it's from the dry. It's super cold, super dry. And I know because when I blow my nose, there's a little bit of blood comes out of into my snot. And my wife last night, she's like, I have a headache, and I'm like, I do too. I've had it the last couple of days. I'm sure it's the dry. And she's like, yeah. And she's like, can you turn the April air up? I'm like, it's cranked. It's been cranked since it was like 28. And it's the weird thing is the humidity in the house is higher than what it was when I cranked it up, a month ago or whenever I turned the humidity up. And here we are. So I Googled this morning and I woke up the second time I woke up and I still was like, I wasn't like perky, like let's attack the day. It was like, oh, and then it was like double. Oh, so it's like, I've got this like head stuff. It's not a cold. Not yet, at least. Popping that vitamin C. And then I look at the clock. I'm like, fuck. I didn't set my second alarm. So now it's like 7:20. God damn. And I'm not tired. I'm just feel crappy. I don't feel crappy. I feel not 100%. Not 100%. So that's what happens in January in Wisconsin. As long as I'm perky next week for Cubs convention. So that's why I'm late. Set my alarm. That dude from Duryea says set unattainable goals every day. And that's what I did this morning. I set an unattainable goal of waking up really early for me. Wasn't going to happen. Hey, we had a great night of auctions last night. Thank you for bidding over at 99centcards.com. Overall, it was a great night, better than expected, and kind of highlighted by 2 or 3 auctions that went way higher than I expected. The Mike Evans went way higher than expected and paid for. The Royce White National Treasures rookie auto that went for significantly higher than I thought. There was one or two other items that went for higher than my expectations. So that's the fun that I have with auctions. It's like, you take a gamble out of a dollar box with a couple vintage 70s football cards, be like, I can probably get a couple bucks out of these, and they sell for 99 cents. And then you pull a Mike Evans Topps Chrome rookie and it sells for $30. You're like, all right, that was a win. More auctions to come tonight. I've got auctions ending tonight. I've got more auctions beginning tonight. If you're vintage common lover, or if you're looking to build sets of 1971 Topps baseball or 1969 Topps football, check out my auction starting tonight. I've got a batch of 69 football and 71 baseball going live tonight. Got kind of a mishmash of items ending tonight. I was looking at my numbers this morning, and last night's auction, I'm still below my first 8 days. And my first 8 days in December were crappy. So what's that tell you about how my January starting? Not a good start to January in the new year, but January historically has been one of my worst months of the year. Last year, last year, January was my second worst month, only behind March. And March was so bad. Well, March, 10 days I'm in, or 8 days I'm in spring training, and really book, day before I'm not really doing anything. So really half of March, because as I prepare for spring training, I'm not really adding much to my eBay store. So half of March, and that's what January beat it. So I should, I'm on pace to crush last year. In fact, we compare this month to last year, same period. I'm up 25%, which is not good because my January 2024 was so bad. I want to be a lot higher than up 24%. So we've got some work to be done, but a lot of this has to do with auctions, and my sales via auction are still over 30% lower than what they were this same time period a month ago. My fixed price sales are higher. So that is a good sign, because didn't have any auctions until last, I think one night of auctions ending before last night's auction. And now I've got auctions running. I'll have auctions running for about 10 straight days before I take a break for Cubs convention. So off to a poor start in January, but I do expect things to turn around. I am seeing, and part of that is also it's almost like this is like the second month in a row I've identified why my sales are a little slower. Now I know why my sales are lower right now, because it's the auctions, lack of auctions in this first week of January. The first week of December, it was, I need to add more higher dollar items and not $1.75 items. And a lot of those sold through in the month of December. And here we go. We start a new month, and I need to sell more higher dollar items. And I think that's just comes with the territory. 80 sales, you can't rely solely on high dollar sales because you won't have the volume. You can't rely on low end sales because you're going to fall short on the dollar amount. You're going to have plenty of volume, low dollar amount. So there's got to be a nice balance between higher dollar items listed and, your $1.75 stuff. So, but I'm okay with it. I'm not okay with it, but I am okay with it. If you understand, I know why. I know why my sales are the way they are, and you just gotta. That's the most important part of the whole thing. Understanding why. Are your sales low, slow? Why are they low and slow? Are your sales great? Also, understand why your sales are great. Is it an outlier? Had a great month. Why? And use that to make every month a great month. So sales are off a little bit, but comes with the territory. January is, for me, and what I sell is a slower month, but also auctions have a lot to do with that. And I could make January a great month. Just list great stuff at liquid prices, and boom, you're going to make sales. Easier said than done. I don't really have a topic today. I didn't even put like a topic in the title because I came in here to set the video up, and it's like, well, I don't have time to think. So here we are. Let's go to the chat. Todd's here. Good morning. Johnny Boy Cards in the house. Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you. Philly Joe's here. Good morning. Scott is here. Good morning to you. Brian's in the house. Every day I say, let's get it. And then I wake up and I need caffeine. Hey, me too. Brandon's here. What's going on? Fucking insane. Good morning. Back at you. Zach says I have one alarm set. It is ready to go off when Bitcoin hits 100K. And is it above 100K again? I thought I thought I saw it the other day at like 101. Maybe I'm mistaken. Nope, we're at 95, 147. So we're still treading water. Boston Smoke is here. Good morning. Michael Renicky in the house. Good morning. Merle is here. Hump day, snooze day. It was a snooze day actually it wasn't a snooze day. It was a turn the alarm off morning, much to my chagrin. Victor's here. Good morning. What's up? Set attainable goals every day, says that dude from Duryea. Merle says, how excited is Ernie to go out in the cold this morning? He's always excited. Ernie, the cold does not bother him. The cold does not bother him. He was excited when I took him out this morning. He was excited to go out. He peed, he pooped, and then he wanted to stay outside. And I'm like, come on, we got to go inside. They did, our block got the tree trim stuff going on. So there's a lot of like small twigs and like pieces of wood. And he's a very curious puppy. And so he just wants to hang out outside and figure out what the hell these sticks are. So he was loving it. He loves his outdoor time, even when it's 8 degrees. Johnny M says it, Zach, then your alarm must have went off yesterday. Yeah, okay, so I'm not mistaken. So it did hit 100K yesterday. I thought I was just happened to be plunking around in Coinbase or somewhere, and I thought I saw Bitcoin over 100K. Merle says that means Zach's prediction for 2025 already came true. Zach says it sure did, and now I get to wait for it to get back up there again, and your alarm's going to go off maybe today, maybe tomorrow. Unicorn Cupcake, good morning. Orlando's here. Hello. Zach says, is that Mike Evans the new price for that card or an outlier? Well, let's see. Is that an outlier price? What, I don't even know what year that was. Mike Evans, Topps Chrome rookie. More times than not. Let's see. Let's go to sold. 2014 Topps Chrome Mike Evans rookie card. Mine sold at $30. Charles Sims sold for $1.49. That's Topps base. So one sold yesterday for $25. Buy it now. Outlier. We've got an outlier, an auction outlier. Those are all graded. Oh, wait, I think mine was a variation. It was. No wonder mine sold for higher. Didn't even know that. No wonder it went high. So the $25 one, was that also? Oh, that was the regular card. Oh. So it probably is an outlier. Mike Evans, Topps Chrome, rookie variation. That's a PSA 10. Let's see. It looks like the last one sold back on December 4th for $40. At least with variation in the title. Yeah, ended recently. Mine did not have variation in the title. So one sold for $40 back in December. Let's see. Like Evans Topps Chrome, $185. Let's do not graded. Graded, no. All right, so mine was 30. These are all the base versions. How about that? Didn't even know it was a variation. That December sale might have been the last one. So I think my sale was an outlier. It's probably a $50 or $60 card now, based on the recent. Yeah, so many base cards. And as we saw with variation, of course, I didn't even put variation in my title. So one sold a month ago for $40 at Buy It Now. So I'm guessing the market, if it goes for auction at 30, I'm guessing the market's 60, 50 or 60. So yeah, I think my sale was an outlier and I didn't realize it was a variation. So, all right. I went through 2 pages and couldn't find another comp. Red Lights here. Good morning. Dave Arnold says BPC checking in. JK Cards in the house. Good morning. Last night was fun. We do it most Tuesday nights. We took a couple weeks off due to Christmas and New Year's, and we'll ramp it back up here in 2025. eBay auction live stream every Tuesday night. And I think we will, for the foreseeable future, have Tuesday night auctions. I'll take a break. You know what? I think I wasn't going to run tonight auctions starting tonight, but I did anyway. So I've got next week is Cubs convention. So I won't be starting any auctions Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it always sneaks up on me like, oh shit, next week. Oh crap, no auctions. Cooter says, good morning. In DFW today, everyone is freaking out because it's going to snow here tomorrow. Peter says, good morning. Good morning. Johnny M says, my wife was totally against my buying Bitcoin years ago. This morning, she told me to buy another one if it goes to 92K. What a difference a few years makes, right? Years ago, and I don't know when you were buying it. I looked at historically, there was a chart on Bitcoin prices on like New Year's Day. And I think it was 2020 or 2021 where it was like 6K on New Year's Day after it had reached like 20K. And I had bought in, now I'm not buying full coins, obviously, but I had bought in at the first peak back in 17? And I bought in at like 13K, and then it went up to like 16K, like in a day. And I told my wife, and my wife's like, kind of the same thing that Johnny M is saying. And she's like, buy more. She's like, I'll give you like $5,000 to put down. I'm like, no, let's hold your horses here. Because then it hit 20K. But then it dropped, and it didn't hit 20K for 3 years. And then, of course, now it, has surpassed 100K a couple times. But then I was buying down at like 3 or 4K, like around the pandemic. I think it plummeted. But I ended up selling all of what I was holding. I waited until it hit 40K, and I'm happy because I made a lot of money. I made a decent amount, not a lot, enough to get some toys. And now I'm fully out of it. But I have no regrets on it. I have some regrets on selling my Dogecoin too early. Mr. Archer says, good morning. Thanks for the Drew Gilbert card. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. Philly Joe says, just take the money and run. What's done is done. Amen. Florida baseball card dude, good morning. That dude says, I look at those situations as I didn't know I had the card. So the money is a bonus. Absolutely. Johnny M says, my original buy-in was at 13.5K. Okay, so we were probably in at the same time. 13K, I think, is around the time that we have a cancellation request. See, is it an auction? I am having like a huge uptick in it was just to buy it now. Oh, we're getting into the season. This is my third cancellation in like the last 10 days because it won't arrive in time. People buying cards for autographs. I know this is for an autograph because his name is ACH Graphs. So that's an annoying part of selling low-end cards during baseball season. You get graphers who don't know how to tell time, and they buy a card today and they want it in 2 days. No, I don't want your damn offer. Keep that. Okay. So I want to go through, I want to see my, okay, if I can't find it fast enough, let's see, BTC. I haven't checked my Coinbase wallet in a while. History. All right. Ooh, show more. So my first buy, was this my first buy? 2018? No, it had to have been before that because I bought it for 6,600. I bought in at the peak. Maybe it was through Coinbase. Oh, it was through Coinbase. So Robinhood, my first was at 6,600. Then I bought some more at 7,400, but this is after the peak in 2018. Let's see. Then I sold some at 11,000. Then I bought some at 14,000. And I bought some more at 15,000. Then I sold at 40,000. Oh, did I buy some more? Oh, I sold 50,000. I had some still at 50,000. So I must not have sold everything at 40,000. All right. But I think my first, so that's on Robinhood. On Coinbase, I want to see I don't know how to balance. Here we go. So I bought my first Bitcoin was on December 6th, 2017 at 14,000. Then I bought some more the next day for 17,000. And I bought some more a few days later at 17,000. And then I sold at 56,000. So there you go. Made some good money there. All right. Enough Bitcoin talk. Brian says, happy to announce the Gem City Card Show will be March 22nd, expanding to a larger room. Very nice. So the Gem City Card Show down in Quincy, Illinois has a date, March 22nd. It's expanding. The Macomb Card Show coming back in April. New location. It's expanding. Good to see Brian and Mark having success down in Quincy and Macomb. Merle says, are you buying Bitcoin 99 cents at a time? I am not buying Bitcoin 99 cents at a time, but I'm not buying it $100,000 at a time either. Johnny M says, I expect it to hit 150 within 6 months. John says, good for the crypto kids, but there's also zero regrets on my part for not buying Bitcoin. And I feel the same way. It's not like, there a lot of the stocks that, it's like, I'm not into speculation on stocks, on Nvidia and Roblox back in the time, which I think is tanked. What was the other? GameStop, John says, Jimmy Carter related post office closings will lead to many cancellations and the collapse of the secondary card market. Could happen. Odd Merchants is here. Do you think Topps is purposely holding the Skeens MLB debut to sell more product and to continue to raise prices to local card shops? I think something fishy is going on. No, I do not. The Evan Longoria Superfractor from 2008 still hasn't surfaced. They're not holding on to these cards. I am not a conspiracy theorist. It is still in there. And here's an example. So we need to take off the tinfoil hats. All right. And this is kind of like, this is my answer, or not answer, but this is my wavelength of thinking. Kind of like when I'm buying boxes of cards. Oh, nice. So when you're buying boxes of cards, you don't look at the potential what you can hit. You're not buying Topps Chrome because of the Paul Skeens rookie debut patch. Because what are the odds that you're going to pull that? What I look at is what's the floor? What's the checklist? Kind of like we talked about luminaries the other day. And, out of 10 sales right off the bat, 10 sales, one of 10 sales, you paid for your box. And most of those were really shitty sales. Like one was for $60 on a $500 box, $400 box, $400 to $500, depending on where you bought it, when you bought it. So look at the floor. Now, you can say, okay, the Paul Skeens debut patch, there's a bounty and all this. It hasn't been pulled. It's also bad to string it out because this hobby is what have you done for me lately? Very, very short attention spans. So to drag this on is not good. And now we're dragging into 2025 and Topps Series 1 for 2025 is going to be coming out soon. I mean, ideally, you want to drag it out a little bit, but you don't want to drag it out this long. Like if you were in control of it. So no, they are not, there's no conspiracies going on. It just hasn't been pulled. So debut patch tracker, there has only been, where's it at? Only 27% of the debut patches have been pulled. 27%. That means 63%. Is that my math right? Or is it 73%? My math is off this morning. It's the head. I blame the headache. 73% have not been pulled. 73% of the debut patches have been pulled. No, there is not shenanigans going on. They're not holding back cards. None of that is going on. None of that is going on. Sarah Collectibles in the house. What's happening? Good morning. Merchant says it's like the lottery, knowing where the winning ticket is sold. A card like that probably doesn't get randomly inserted in the product with the hype. I'm sure it does. There was third-party audits done with Topps, and there was nothing going on. Nothing going on. So I'm not buying into any conspiracy theories. Again, 73% of the patches have not been pulled or have not surfaced. John says the manufacturers will use whatever tools they have at their disposal to maximize sales. It's a dirty business, says John. Odd Merchants agrees with John. Panini wasn't very smart. They would just send the chase card to backyard 3 days into powder. And see, I don't buy into that either. There's no conspiracy when it comes to executing a foolproof sales driving scheme. Odd Merchant says, honestly, with the way Topps is handled since the merger with Fanatics, the gloves are off and it's 100% about capitalizing on profits. It's always been 100% on capitalizing profits. 3 years ago, everybody hated Topps. Oh, I hope Topps sells. And then they sold to Fanatics and now everybody hates Fanatics. And if Fanatics sold to Company X, everybody's going to hate Company X. Doesn't matter. It's always been about capitalizing. They're a fucking business. Of course they want to make money and maximize profit. That's what they're there for. They're not there to quench our thirst for our hobby. They're there to make money. It's always been that way. Brian says, I don't like the bounties unless they are guaranteed through the card company with a regional expiration. I like that less. I would not want a bounty through the card company. I have mixed feelings on bounties. I think they've gotten out of hand. I think like here and there, like a Paul Skeens debut patch, that's cool. But then you start getting bounties on everything, and it's like, I think we're bountied out. And I think it would be worse if the bounty is guaranteed through the card company. I don't like that. That's a little too close to home. I don't like that. I like just keep it the way it is. Pirates can offer a bounty. Jeff Wilson can offer a bounty. John Keating can offer a bounty, but not the company that's actually manufacturing the cards. John says there are a lot of dealers in LCS out there that will sell packs of cards from boxes and cases that have had their hits pulled, giving the buyer hope they're in for a big payday. Yeah, and that's been happening for a long time too. This is nothing new. Now, I'm not condoning it just because it's been happening for decades. Doesn't mean it's good. It's bad. I'm always hesitant if I go to, and we're kind of in a different age. Back in 1990, and, I wasn't buying boxes. I was 8, so I was buying packs. Now, today, I wouldn't buy a pack of cards because I don't trust anybody. And I don't trust even if it's the local card shop. Well, what if? They have employees. Well, what if the employee, and what if they didn't disclose, well, the autograph's been pulled out of that box. Autograph guaranteed. It's like, So, Odd Merchant says, Stryker's done a video where 73% of the product has been ripped. Can't find it anywhere. I would be 73% of the product doesn't seem accurate. That does not seem like an accurate number. That's a lot of product. And I just don't see that being realistic. Johnny M says, Skeens card may be in someone's PC. Not everyone cares about the world knowing their business. That's true. In this day and age, they're very well. And here's the thing about these big cards. Not everybody is watching videos on YouTube about baseball cards. Not everybody is on Facebook posting pictures of baseball cards and entering groups. Not everybody knows there's bounties out for Paul Skeens. There could have been a box under a Christmas tree this year with that Paul Skeens debut patch or any of the other debut patches. And like, oh, this is a cool card. And mom and dad have no idea about baseball cards. Well, Johnny likes baseball cards. Here's a box. Johnny pulls this card. Oh, this is cool. I don't like the Pirates, but it's cool. He doesn't know. Now, is that likely? No. Because Johnny's probably going to show his friends, and most likely one of his friends is probably going to know, oh, that's a big card. Or Johnny may not even be into cards. Maybe grandma bought him a box of baseball cards and he wanted Pokemon. And he opened it up and there's the Paul Skeens and he doesn't know. If somebody gave me a box of Pokemon cards, I'd be like, what the fuck is this? But if I opened them, if I was, 7 and it's like, well, grandma got me a box of baseball or Pokemon cards, I'm going to open them. I would have no idea. There could be a $10,000 card in there. I would have no idea. And none of my friends, well, now, but none of my friends back then, well, there wasn't Pokemon when I was 7. So I guess that's, but it very well could be. And again, there's a lot of big cards that have never surfaced. Take, for example, the Mike Trout first Bowman Chrome blue autograph that was in a fucking box, unprotected, was sitting in somebody's closet or basement or attic. Just sitting there, unprotected. Big card. Not Paul Skeens' debut patch level, but a big card nonetheless. I'm sure if they knew what it was, it wouldn't have been in that box very long. John says, I don't think there were third-party audits, or at least the parameters of those audits were not made public. I can't speak to that. I'm not sure. I don't think you could speak to that either. We could speculate one way or the other. Sarah Collectible says, what do you think about the zero cards prices? I am not familiar. I'm not familiar with the zero cards. Don't believe the audit one bit. Odd Merchant says, audit was done by the law offices of Rubin and Rubin. A lot of printing can bury those cards in warehouses. Absolutely. They print the shit out of these cards. Philly Joe says that audit was BS. Brandon says those audits are like restaurants paying off health inspectors. Cooter says those weren't audits. All right, so nobody agrees with the audits. Those were agreed upon procedures, engagements. The accounting firm only did the procedures Topps told them to do. That's not an audit. John says, I believe that these cards are complete flexes. It's not sitting on someone's wall in their office. That's what Wagner's are for. Tracy's in the house. Good morning. Max says the audits were garbage, FYI. Bounties are also garbage. Modern cards are not arm candy, and the people seeking them are fat, greasy white fellas. I do have a bounty on the 2024 Herb Washington buyback. There is no one in the world that knows how much of a product has been opened. There is no way of knowing. I agree with that. And I can tell you 73% of a modern product has not been opened. That's a lot of, like, the amount they print, the amount of boxes they're sitting at Tops, Fanatics, at Blowout, Dave and Adams. It's a lot out there. Brandon says, good luck selling the rest of the packs if they tell you hits have been pulled. Exactly. That's why I'd be skeptical. Odd Merchant says maybe Tops will have a random box of Skeens opened at Tops HQ and pull his card like that soccer player a few years back. John says, I do like incentives to open the product and not leave unopened. I sold an unopened box for high four figures at the highest, and I could not believe someone would write the check. I have mixed feelings. About unopened product. And this was actually brought up on Hobby Hotline over the weekend. I think Dr. Beckett was on board with incentives, and I don't like if you like. There are a lot of collectors that collect sealed wax, and I have no problems. If you want to collect sealed wax, maybe there's outdated bounties or outdated redemptions. But if you collect them, collect them. We don't have to open every box out there just because this guy or that guy wants the redemption card or a card that might be in there. Well, we need to open every box to find these hidden cards. Odd Merchant says, I think a ton of people are sitting on unopened wax. And and especially from 2020 and 2021. Because now they can't sell it. Shane, what's up? He says that's an even better example than Evan Longoria. The Steph Curry rookie superfractor has not surfaced. And it's probably sitting in a shoebox underneath some now young adult's bed, closet, basement, attic. Luca Prism 1 of 1 is still out there. So see, like just because the Paul Skeens and 73% of the other debut patches haven't surfaced, Luca Prism 1 of 1, Steph Curry Super, Evan Longoria Superfractor, I don't see any shady shenanigans going on. L1C says most likely the box that the Skeen is in is lost in the mail. Tracking not updating. The government wins again. Comment of the day. John says, I can speak to the audit to some extent because when they announced the mechanics of it, it sounded very fishy to me. I even asked Dr. Jim and he agreed. Employees of these companies know a lot. The cards acquired from Topps employees over the past 30 years is quite impressive, even unreleased test issues. Brian believes Cooter. He knows about that money stuff. He does. Brian Wolf, good morning. John says, most of my unopened inventory is for sets I already have complete. I'm down to some WWF Heritage unopened. I've got a box of 2020 Topps Update and some Conlon collection. That's about all the unopened I have. And some 88 Topps. Jeff Wilson loves his sealed wax until he sells it. Max says, you can do whatever the fuck you want with something you own. I agree. Sealed wax has been some of the best, easiest gains I've made in the last 5 years. And I'm not even talking about the flip. I'm just talking about collecting it. There are people that collect sealed wax, and that's okay. Collect whatever the hell you want to collect. Sealed, unsealed. If you like it, do it. John says collecting unopened stuff is great because it's being collected. It's the investment part that might not sit with me. Zach says, more importantly, how are your legs feeling after crushing that new step? Very good. Feeling good. I should have hit it up last night. John says, is the hobby prepared for a Tommy John situation with Skeens? They should be. I mean, come on. He's a pitcher. And we know what happens. I collect packs, but nothing with redemptions. I like early 80s and earlier. Odd Merchant says allocating product and raising prices to the LCS on more is shady. MSRP is MSRP. John says it would send shit sideways real quick. Zach and Porter says, Bo, are your table fees going up this month? They sure are. $60 per table at the Madison Card Show, which, by the way, is coming up January, 25th? Saturday, January 25th, Madison Card Show. Collector's Dream Orlando says, I still have 89 Upper Deck boxes. Nice. Where the concern would be if there was a warehouse of unsold product by the manufacturer. That would spell trouble. Max says, yes, I collect it. Who cares? Collect, invest, buy, sell. Well, there's a difference between collecting and flipping. Most big collectors and people I know with real money don't show and tell. Max says, mind your business and move on. Too many people are too concerned with what other people are doing with their collections and money. And I agree. John says, Jesus, $60 is a bargain. You should be at $100. I have one dealer that pays me $150 for a single table, and I take his money. I've had offers of $100 per table, but we're sticking for $60 for now and letting that waiting list get longer and longer. Zach says, good for you, Bo. It's your show, and you can do whatever you want to do. That's right. Hey, John Keating is here. I got a mail day from that 70s Card Show. One of the greatest images of a Chicago Cubs player on any baseball card ever. And it's signed. Red Sharpie signed. Jay Baller. I didn't realize. I always thought his name was Jay Baller. And that's a fucking ballin' name for this guy. Look at that. He's got a perm. He's got the 80s stash. He's got chest hair out the wazoo. He's got the gold chain. He's a fucking baller. But no, his last name's pronounced Baller. I didn't know that. A buddy of mine who worked in the Cubs front office, I'm like, I don't know how Jay Baller came up. And he's like, it's Baller. I'm like, Baller? I'm like, but he's a baller. His name should be Baller. It's like, well, you pronounce it Baller. And we got Lee Elia. You can print it. Speaking of F-bombs, Lee Elia, he dropped them. He looks like a guy that's smoking ciggies and dropping F-bombs. Lee Elia. So thank you, John Keating, for the Lee Elia and Jay Baller autographed cards. Where we at? Odd Merchant says shrinkflation, $60 for a 4-foot half table. I should do that. Grubby dealers have been sponging off you for too long. Make them start paying their fair share. Max says nobody said he couldn't. LOL. That dude says there have been many instances over the years that Topps liquidated overstock inventory. Every industry has overstock. Never find Topps at Marshall's, however. Max says that's Ben's brother. Ben Baller, yeah. You were a true baller. F-bomb. Johnny M says, so that's how he got a wrench, paying me off. Max, you didn't say he couldn't. You complained about what he was doing with his show. Brian says, charge Max double, but offer a bounty if he can provide you with a Gary Gaetti Cubs card of 200 pennies. AA cards in the house. Good morning. John says, Lee Elia, only high school class of 1955. Max says, it's good to see I've been there for months. Going to start charging me rent. Yes, we will. Odd Merchant says you should do a full weekend show once a year. I've had people bring that to me, and I just don't. I don't think it would. It probably would do well. I just don't want to do it. John says running water ain't cheap. If you want sturdy infrastructure at your shows, then you have to pay up for your tables. I should check in to see. I'm sure it's been fixed. They had an event this past weekend, so I'm sure it was all fixed. But by the way, it wasn't pipes. It was a roof leak from all the impacted snow that was melting with rain on top of it. Todd Johnson's in the house. Good morning. Love your content. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate that. That's about all I had for today. I do have auctions running tonight, ending tonight, and starting tonight. And then I won't have any auctions starting for the next few days. We've got Cubs convention next weekend. So I will be there. I'll be heading down Thursday. So we won't have Hobby Evolution next Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, as I'll be in downtown Chicago. Getting in there on Thursday. Going to try to do some card stuff on Thursday night, and trying to line up some type of trade night. So my buddy Adam over at Bridgeport Hobby wants to put something together too. So I'm going to connect him with some people at the Cubs and see if we could try to make something happen. What else? 99centcards.com. Did I add any buy? Oh, I did. I put some refractor lots together. Some 100 count refractor lots. Did well on the last one. It didn't sell right away, but it sold within a week, I think. So I put 4 of those up. Speaking of sealed, I put a 2020 Topps sealed complete set that I just had lying around on a shelf. I'm like, oh, let's put this on. And I did really well selling sealed sets last summer. Was shocked at how fast they sold. So those are some new items in my inventory. 99centcards.com. On the buy it now items, buy 7 or more and save 25% off at checkout. That's not just single cards. That's sets, lots, any other items that's in my store. Does not include auctions, though. But you'll get steals and deals at auctions. 99centcards.com. Brandon says, what percentage of your orders are multi-card orders as opposed to single cards? Roughly 20% are multi-card orders, about 20%. Of course, that's going to vary, but over the long term, it shakes out to be about 20% of my orders are multi-card. You can do the math. The average, I think the average is right around 8 cards per order. And run the numbers and it's well worth it. For the volume discounts, 99 cents. I might do a video. I say that a lot, don't I? I really don't. I hate putting videos together, especially like scripted videos. But I ran the numbers. I had this conversation after the Madison Card Show. Somebody was asking me 99centcards.com. Well, how do you make money on 99-cent cards? Well, you don't. But it's all about volume. So I did a breakdown, and I'll share that right now. So at one card at 99 cents, I'm actually losing 32 cents on a 99-cent sale. A single 99-cent free shipping sale, I'm losing 32 cents. The final value fee is 12 cents. There's a transaction fee of 30 cents. I promote typically up to, I'm dynamic, but I just figured in 10%, which is 10 cents. Stamp is 69 cents. And supplies, which includes the card saver, penny sleeve, envelope, label, about 10 cents. So net loss, 32 cents on a single 99-cent sale. However, because the question was, well, how many cards do you need to sell to get into profit? And I says 2. That's all it takes. So on 2 cards at 99 cents, my total sale is $1.98. My final value fee is 24 cents. Transaction fee is 30 cents. Now, that final value fee is going to fluctuate because it's also takes into account the tax. So it depends on the state. We're not going to break it down for 50 different taxing bodies. So final value fee, 24 cents. Transaction fee, 30 cents. 20 cents on promotion. 69 cents on the ESC. My supplies remain static at 10 cents. Maybe you can say 11 cents because there's an extra penny sleeve. But I'm using 1 card saver, 1 piece of paper, 1 envelope, 1 label. So we're going to static it 10 cents on the supplies, which brings my net profit on 2 cards at 99 cents to 45-cent net profit. So make it about what, 22 cents a card, 22, 23 cents a card. And then we go up to 3 cards at 99 cents each. Total is $2.97. Final value fee, 36 cents. Transaction fee is now 30 cents. Promoted fee static at 30 cents. Postage still fixed at 69 cents. Supplies, I put it in 1 card saver. We're going to say 10 cents. You could say 11 or 12 cents with the penny sleeves, which I'm paying about around a half a penny each for. Net profit $1.22 on 3 cards. So that's the breakdown on my 99-cent sales. So do I make money on a 99-cent sale? On a single sale? No. But once I sell 2 cards in the same transaction, I do. Oh, where are we at? Zach says, wait, these aren't scripted. Surprise. Odd Merchant says you need to do another updated seller video with Ty. That video was a runaway freight train. YouTube loved that one. Yeah, I think one of the videos we did is still Bench Clear's top video. Orlando says seller videos do well on YouTube. Yeah, they do. That's why they pop up on my feed every day. All these reseller videos. Your net profit is based also on what your cost of goods is. I assume most of your 99-cent cards are penny COGs. Again, I can't give you a fixed number on that because some of these might have been free. Some of them might have been a penny. Some of them might have been 50 cents. Probably not if I'm selling them for 99 cents. Taxes are not figured into my driving to the post office, not figured in. My time, not figured in. My internet bill, not figured in. The rent or mortgage, not figured in. My phone bill, not figured in. So a lot of the costs are not figured into that. Those are what's right in front of you. Max says, seller videos do great, but the problem is the editing on them is non-existent. Don't need amazing editing, but cut between deals. 40 minutes of footage should be maybe 10 minutes. I agree. Sometimes it's as long as the person is talking and has like good content with what they're saying. If they're looking through a box of cards, like I don't want, because I'm not watching a video. Like I have videos on in the background. I'm listening. And so I don't care. Now, if they say, oh my God, this is the coolest card ever, I want to see a damn picture of the card. But if they're just going through a box and not saying anything, or if it's just ambient noise in the background, it's like, I'm going to go to the next video because I want to listen to something. So I do agree with that. Brian says he doesn't have an EBITDA or whatever. Cash versus accrual cost of goods, fairly irrelevant for one card transactions. 100%. There's no need at the end of the month. You take a look. Here's what January did. Here's my gross sales. Here's my expenses. Here's how much money I made. John says, I assume each and every one of your losses is documented to offset some of your gains. Well, everything's documented, but it's not documented. I'm not going to put a price. Well, I paid 25 cents for this Reggie Crawford, or I paid $5 for Nazan Zanatello and it only sold for $3. It's not going to that. It's okay. This was part of a $200 purchase, and that just goes in the kitty. And then there's at the end of the year, I have to report how much existing inventory I have and all that bullshit. Max says the non-cards reseller guys mostly do a great job, but it seems most card guys can't edit to save their ass. Hey, I'm one of those can't edit to save their ass guys. Odd Merchant says, I have to get to work. Have a good day. You as well. No such thing as EBITDA. There's EBIT and EBITDA. EBITDA. All right. So that's what I had for today. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Visit my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Buy 7 or more items in the Buy It Now section. Save 25% off at checkout. Hit up my auctions. Make sure to bid and bid early. Bid often. 99centcards.com. John says, sounds loose. You're making it sound like it's tight. Standard card dealer talking out both sides of his mouth. I don't know if you're talking to me or Max. This is how I report. So I'm not talking out of both sides of my mouth. How do you want it? I mean, I can't honestly give you a per card breakdown on when it comes to my tax, because that's not how my taxes are done. I can tell you, okay, I made X and I spent X. But when it comes to a per card breakdown, these are the taxes, or these are the numbers. I can't say how much, because this 99-cent card I might have paid $1 for, which if I list something for 99 cents, I can assure you I didn't pay $1 for it. It's probably in a bulk deal that I got for 1/10 of a penny or less, maybe 1/2 a penny. I'm not going to put the mortgage in. I'm not going to put my cell phone bill, my internet bill on a per card basis. You just don't do that. You can't do that. So you do what you can do. So that's the breakdown. Brian says, earnings before insurance taxes, asshole. Ooh, there it works. That's what we should tell the IRS. There. And as long as the IRS says, okay, my accountant says, okay. And then the IRS says, okay, we're okay. So far, so good. All right. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, visit my eBay store. Have a good Wednesday. Trash and recycling at the curb. Don't forget, we'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully 7 a.m. if I wake up on time. See you then.